Thank you everyone for coming, and all of those of you watching the video. I'd like to start by just giving you a little bit of background of who I am, why I'm here. It's been over 10 years since I first woke up, and what was happening in my life at the time was I was suffering with chronic fatigue syndrome and digestive issues and severe herniation in my lower back. Just, I was kind of a mess. I had this beautiful awakening, healing experience where I remembered who I was. And the past 10.5 years have been a journey of me embodying more fully the love and the light that I am, and clearing out programs and patterns and imprints and implants. We're all raised with doctrines and dogmas and things that don't serve our highest light. And so I have worked very intensely at a very rapid pace to transmute all of that so that I can be more of who I am. Nutrition was my business for 9 years, and then I started doing sound healing with my voice and a didgeridoo. And then, in this past June, actually, it's been very recent, Prime Creator started coming through. And I would be able to channel, people's guides and things while I was doing session work with people on my table. But this was a whole different energy. So what happened was Max actually asked me a question about something, and I went into this space and started answering it. And afterwards, we were like, who was that? The answer was very clear, Prime Creator. And I was just like, wow, I am humbled, I am grateful, wow. And it took me 24 to 48 hours to really integrate the energy, because it was a very intense upgrade, a very intense energy. For me as a channel, my intention is always to be as pure and clear as possible. And I believe that I'm able to be clear and pure to some extent because of the work that I've done on myself to clear myself out the past 10.5 years. And I say that with humility. It's not like to brag, oh, I channel Prime Creator. I'm not into that. Really, my goal right now is to share as much information as possible about what's coming up in September, because it is the ultimate transition that we've been waiting for eons of time. And I feel very honored that I'm able to bring forth this information. And I will say that I have my filters, I have my biases, and Prime Creator will call me out on that, as you may have seen in video 7 if you watch that. There is a level of clarity that comes through that I invite you to tune in for yourself, to feel in for yourself, to see what resonates. And you can take away from tonight, none of that makes any sense to me, or you can say, oh man, this is what we've been waiting for. So each of your hearts and your souls know, and there's a reason that you each showed up tonight. There are messages that are specifically for you that you will hear that I'm confident you'll say, oh wow. I've been waiting for this knowledge. This is making sense. As I explain what's going to happen in September, I invite you to write down your questions, and then you'll give them to Max and we'll answer them. Write down the ones that are most important to you first, and then, like I said, if you have 10 questions, write them all down, with small groups, so I've got time. I'm here just to serve as best I can. Max has actually been receiving information about September 23rd for about a year. So the 23rd is right around equinox, and that is when the energies will really, really start to shift. I mean, you've already been feeling the transition coming. You've already been feeling changes in your physical body, changes in your emotional field, changes in the way you think about things. The veil is getting thinner. You may be seeing more, hearing more, smelling more, sensing more. It's different for everybody depending on how you process. I'm one of those people that feels everything in my body, which is a blessing and sometimes not so much. It enables me to channel, because when the information is presented to me through Prime Creator, I feel what he's trying to communicate, and then I put words to it. And that's really where it can get convoluted, is because I have to figure out what words in the English language are matching the feeling that he's giving me. Around the equinox in September, we're going to experience an amping up of the energies. And we don't know the exact day or time, but what is going to occur is a great wave of love and light coming onto this planet. And this is not just an ascension for this planet, it's for all the universes and the multiverse. At one period in time, it may have just been for this planet, but because it hasn't happened, and it hasn't happened, and every time there was a window, every time there was an opportunity, and it didn't happen, the energy amped up more and more and more. And each time, more has come into alignment. And each time it didn't happen, more support from other universes, other galaxies, has come into alignment. So that now we're at a point where it's a tipping point. If it doesn't happen this time, it'll probably happen in October or somewhere very quickly, because the timeline is so short right now. The energy is so amped up that it's gotta happen. At the time when this wave of love and light comes in, each soul will transition to the dimension in which they're meant to go. So it's kind of like a soul destiny, whatever your soul path is, and depending on the inner work you have done for yourself. The combination of those two things, your soul path and your inner work, will determine what dimension you go into. There are infinite possibilities. You may dematerialize and go into a realm where you don't need a body. You may go into the new DNA Earth, which is being prepared for us now, and anywhere in between. So you might want to ask about that if you have any questions for yourself. Some people don't want to know, and that's totally fine too. It's whatever you're guided to seek answers about. One of the big things is this fear factor. You know, a lot of people feel something happening but don't know the information, or, you know, just as humans, we generally carry a lot of fear in our beings, and Prime Creator is asking us now to really let go of that fear. To the extent that you can release the fear is the extent to which the transition will be smooth for you. So if you can become totally at peace with yourself, with what's coming, with this wave of love and light, you'll be much better off during the transition. Keeping in mind that such a powerful wave of love and light will shine on any shadows that we have, because that's what light does. So as this happens, en route to the event right now, you may be feeling all these things coming up to the surface for you, to release, to transmute, to clear, to heal, because you're preparing yourself for this transition. And we've been doing this for a long time. We've been preparing ourselves. This is not just, you know, the next couple of months that we're doing this. We've been at this for a while. But now everything's amped up. And it's going to be a big sigh of relief for the light workers when this occurs. This is what we've been waiting for. We have been holding the space for this to occur. We have incarnated because we are excited about this time and being part of this transition. Some of you, whether you know it or not, are holding the space for this to occur. This is part of the role that you're playing, maybe in other realms or other aspects of your being or your soul. I thank you. I know Max and I have really been called to hold the space for this to happen, and that's why we're putting out the videos and really just doing everything we can to get the information out there. So if you go on YouTube, there are 7 videos that are available so far, and you know, if you feel compelled, inspired to share them, we welcome that. There's like over 4 hours of free content so far, so I mean, we really just want to get the word out so that this can be easy for everyone as much as possible. For those who do hold a lot of fear in their being, the event will feel more traumatic to them because That's how fear works. So everything that I'm sharing right now has come through the channeling so far. So if you want more detail, chances are that they're on the videos. If you want more detail, ask the questions. Each of you will be going into your heaven. So truly there is nothing to fear, because this is what we have been waiting for. Whatever dimension you end up in, it will be your heaven. On the new DNA Earth, I'll just give a little bit of information about that because that's pretty important. For those who do choose to stay in material form, some of you will go into the new DNA Earth. And it's a little bit larger than our current Earth. And the ratio of land to water is about the same. The frequency is higher, and there are new technologies that will be available there. So that as people in the third dimension transition to the new DNA Earth, their opportunity for awakening will be a lot quicker and a lot more supported than it is in this dimension. And Prime Creator has conveyed that polarity will not exist on the new DNA Earth unless it's in the mental construct of the person. The new DNA Earth is set up with the unity consciousness. But people can still experience polarity if they are, in that mindset. But eventually that will dissipate also, because people will be waking up and will be vibrating at a higher frequency. Individuals and entities like corporations of lower vibration will either rise up to the new vibration of the new DNA Earth, or they'll fade away. So that's good news for those of us who want GMO-free food, who want, higher vibration experiences. That's all going to be much more easy to access on the new DNA Earth. And I don't know who's going there, who's not. If you have a question about that, you can ask that. So from now until this wave of love and light comes in September, you may notice in the world, and maybe even within yourself, an increase in polarity. Because the energies are amping up, and so everything is kind of coming to a head. And then there will be a period of time before the wave of love and light comes in where you'll just feel deep, deep peace. I'm looking forward to that one. So I don't know how each person experiences that, if that's going to be an individual experience, but the information that's come through is that there will be an amplification of the polarity, and then a period of deep peace, and then the wave of love and light comes in. And when the wave comes in, it will be profound, it will be quick, and everyone will feel it.